Third race, the Lion Rock Trophy, just a field of 6 to run here. Beauty Joy is a 2-time course and distance winner. Blinkers go back on Tourbillon Diamond. He's coming back from the Queen Mother Memorial. Beauty Eternal, second on that wet track in the Hong Kong Macau Trophy last start. Group racing debut for Circuit Stella. Beluga's drawn barrier 14 at his last 2 starts. He gets gate 5 in the field of 6. And Fantastic Treasure yet to win past 1,400 metres. So a small field here, Tom. What does that do for what is likely going to be a short-priced favourite, Beauty Eternal? Yeah,
well, he should just get a nice run just off the speed behind Circuit Stella, who will lead them up here from barrier number 4, and Beauty Eternal should be able to sit right behind him, maybe either on the fence or one off from barrier number 3. But I don't think probably Zach wants to have him on the fence. Beauty Joy, Paul, with all the lack of pace in the race, could be an opportunity for him to maybe fire up again, as he can do.
Yeah, he can do that. He's got Hugh Bowman on with those soft hands to help him. Beluga's another possible one that could put a bit of pressure on if he wants to, but I think he'd probably take the sit and follow Beauty Eternal and Fantastic Treasure, Tourbillon Diamond. We know both they get back, so shouldn't be too much change to that.
Let's have a look now, Tom, at previous winners of this race, including last year's victor. Beauty Joy lines up again.
And he's got to carry 135 pounds. Of course, Tony Cruz with a couple of winners there. John Size with a couple of winners. And, of course, I think John has the ace hand up his sleeve here in the form of Beauty Eternal. But he's brought horses like this through the past, in particular, this sort of race with the Champions Way.
We're going to stay on the Beauty Joy theme right now. Hugh Bowman has had a pretty good record on the horse since arriving in Hong Kong, and he spoke to Nick.
Hugh, Beauty Joy is your ride in the Lion Rock Trophy. Winner of this race 12 months ago. Obviously, that was under a different rider, but you've been on board him recently, and his latest start was very good behind a superstar.
Yes, it was, Nick. And look, I've enjoyed riding Beauty Joy since I've arrived here in Hong Kong. I've had a pretty good association with him, despite not winning a race. But obviously, he has been racing against the supreme horses here in Hong Kong, and he finds a race now where, you know, that it's probably a fair drop in class for him, but he is carrying the top weight and giving him a fair bit of weight to some pretty decent opposition. So whether or not the handicap whether he can overcome that or not is yet to be seen, but he's certainly in good form.
He certainly is. Do you enjoy the challenge of riding him? Because obviously he's had those noticeable sort of creases that have needed ironing out. Do you enjoy that sort of thing?
Well, if things go to plan, I do, and hopefully they do this weekend. So look, it's all about a consistent pace for him. He doesn't necessarily need a fast pace, but it's no good if the pace steadies mid-race. It doesn't suit him, and from barrier 2 he should be able to take a good position just in behind the speed. But if we can get a nice, consistent, flowing tempo, I'm sure you'll see the best of him.
Do you feel as time has sort of progressed this season here, when you've been on board, that he's sort of, you know, mentally developing as a horse and sort of, you know, becoming more the finished product?
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think I've been lucky that he's been in races that he's had tempo to suit, and last start was a prime example of that. The pace was picked up nice and early, as opposed to, say, international weekend where the pace was quite sedate, and, you know, Vincent came out to a one-off position down the back, and I went up and forced the tempo against a stablemate. So look, it's more to do with how the races run than his manners. I mean, it's not like he over races, but he's just got a particularly light mouth, and as soon as you've got to put the bit in it, he doesn't react well. So it's just about trying to flow with him and keeping a nice rhythm with him, and if we can succeed doing that, he'll be strong late.
Only a small field, Beauty Eternal, your biggest danger possibly, if there is one, I suppose?
I would have thought he's clearly the one to beat, and I think Beluga's racing very well too, but I mean, these horses are probably a class above the opposition he's been racing against, so it's a small and select field. Even Fantastic Treasure's racing in good form. So look, I prefer it at set weights, yeah. But it's not, so we'll see what we do, see what we can do.
He has one with 133 pounds on his back before, has Beauty Joy. More beauty talk now, Paul, and this is Eternal last time in the Hong Kong Macau Trophy. He ends up running second behind Red Lion. Circuit Stella is up on the pace, and he goes to 1600, where he's had one start for one win.
Yeah, I don't think he was suited by this wet track. His stablemate was backed and won, which was Red Lion, but he stayed on nice enough. I think his class got him through the ground. Circuit Stella's running well, and if they do leave him alone in front, I think he can run a bit of a race. But look, Beauty Eternal looks the one to beat for me.
I think he comes in nicely here with the weight, only 122 pounds on his back. 1,600 metres is right up his alley, and so this time around he just seemed to get into an awkward position in the run, but once Zach got him out into what was the better part of the track, we saw the best of him late. And so look, Red Lion's come out and won since, and Circuit Stella I think can give this race a bit of a shake as well for the Miners.
From the front in a small field. We're going to focus, Tom, on John's size, and that's where he is at the moment, leading the Trainers' Premiership.
Yeah, 65 wins for John, 59 seconds, 54 thirds, and he's got a good team of runners assembled for the meeting on Sunday. Brave and Bold on the backup. Elon dropping in grade off a good trial win. Beauty Eternal, Baby Crystal. First starter, Paul, Helios Express.
Yeah, I'm going to include him. I thought his trials weren't too bad. Helios Express as well. Side Success will have his chance. Courier Wonder, we know he's consistent. Seizing the Moment. Now, he won on a wet track last time, but it was 1,400 for the first time, so maybe it was the distance as well.
He goes up in weight too for the win, does Seizing the Moment. We move on now, Paul, to our next replay, which features Beauty Joy running second, and Beluga wins this race. It was over the 1,400 metres. He's a one-time winner at the Trip Beluga.
Yeah, he's had 4 goes at it, and he's won once and been placed. I mean, he's going nice enough. He'll get his opportunity once again. Look, it was a good run here from Beauty Joy as well. He's just got to carry the weight, but that run behind Golden 60 last time was enormous, I thought.
Yeah, it certainly was. Only beaten a length and a half there. He stayed on really well. He hasn't won, of course, since the 19th of June last season, has Beauty Joy. But I think Beluga's a chance in this race as well, especially with the lightweight. He seems to thrive off those.
That is David Hall and Matthew Poon combining with Beluga. Circuit Stella leads here. Tommy fades to run 5th. This is 3 starts ago. He's placed twice since. And what about Fantastic Treasure when it comes to the mile?
Yeah, well, he has tried the mile 4 times just for one placing. Whether he's just that bit better and has that better turn of foot over 1,400 metres, I think that might be the case. And he is 3 pounds out of the handicap here, Paul.
He is, definitely. Look, he's finishing off nicely, though, Fantastic Treasure. And I did like the run behind Red Lion, so I'm going to include him on a very minor line.
All right, that's some replays for race number 3. Is it a case, Paul, of You Beauty?
Yeah, it's You Beauties. I've got the 2 beauties on top, Beauty Eternal to beat Beauty Joy. Circuit Stella from the front and Fantastic Treasure. 3, 1, 4 and 6.
I think Beauty Eternal is going to be very tough to beat here as well for Zach Purton. John Size gets in really nicely with the weights here. Over 1 Beauty Joy, 5 Beluga, and a Circuit Stella will be there for a fair way. 3, 1, 5 and 4.